The story of the diamond necklace began long before Jeanne de la Motte ever set foot in Versailles. In the waning years of King Louis XV's reign, the jewelers Beymer and Bessengue dreamed of creating a masterpiece that would secure their place in history. They traveled across Europe, seeking the finest stones, bargaining with merchants in Antwerp and Amsterdam, and returning to Paris with a fortune in diamonds. For years, they worked in secret, setting each stone by hand, crafting a necklace that shimmered like a river of stars. When the necklace was finally complete, it was unlike anything Paris had ever seen. The jewelers presented it to Madame du Barry, the king's favorite, but fate intervened. The king died, Madame du Barry was exiled, and the necklace remained unsold. The jewelers were left with a treasure they could not bear to break apart, and a debt that threatened to ruin them. Years passed. The new king, Louis XVI, was a different man from his grandfather. He was shy, thoughtful, and more interested in locks and clocks than in the intrigues of the court. His queen, Marie Antoinette, was a symbol of youth and beauty, but also a target for gossip and resentment. The people of France struggled with rising bread prices and heavy taxes, while the court at Versailles seemed to live in a world apart. Marie Antoinette's reputation suffered from the very things that made her unique. She was Austrian by birth, and many in France saw her as an outsider. She loved fashion and parties, and her taste for luxury was exaggerated by her enemies. The queen's kindness and generosity were often overlooked, while every rumor and scandal was magnified. If you're enjoying this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that bring history's greatest mysteries to life. Jeanne de la Motte understood the power of appearances. She had grown up in poverty, the descendant of a royal line that had lost its fortune. Her father drank away what little money they had, and her mother died young. Jeanne learned early how to charm and persuade, how to read a room and find an ally. She married Nicolas de la Motte, hoping for security, but found only more disappointment. In Paris, Jeanne reinvented herself. She wore fine clothes, attended salons, and told anyone who would listen that she was a countess. She met Cardinal de Rohan at a party, and quickly realized that he was both powerful and vulnerable. The cardinal was desperate to regain the queen's favor, and Jeanne offered him hope. The letters began innocently enough, a note of thanks, a word of encouragement. But soon, the letters became more intimate, filled with secrets and promises. Jeanne's friend, Rétaux de Villette, was a master forger, and his work was flawless. The cardinal believed he was corresponding with the queen herself. Jeanne's scheme grew more elaborate. She arranged for the cardinal to meet the queen in the gardens of Versailles. Nicole d'Oliva, a young prostitute who resembled Marie Antoinette, played her part perfectly. She wore a white dress, carried a rose, and spoke only a few words. The cardinal was convinced. He believed he had been forgiven and that his future was secure. The jewelers, Beymer and Bessengue, were overjoyed when the cardinal agreed to buy the necklace. They delivered it to him in secret, and he handed it over to Jeanne, believing he was serving the queen. Jeanne and her accomplices wasted no time. They broke the necklace apart, selling the diamonds in London, Amsterdam, and across Europe. Jeanne lived in luxury, hosting lavish parties and buying expensive clothes. But the jewelers grew anxious. Months passed, and they received no payment. They wrote to the queen, begging for their money. Marie Antoinette was bewildered. She had never ordered the necklace, never authorized the purchase. The king was furious. He ordered an investigation, and the truth began to emerge. The cardinal was arrested in the Hall of Mirrors, in front of the entire court. He protested his innocence, insisting that he had only acted on the queen's behalf. Jeanne was arrested soon after, along with her husband and Rétaux de Villette. Nicole d'Oliva was found and brought to trial, her role in the scheme revealed. The trial was the talk of Paris. Crowds gathered outside the courthouse, eager for news. The newspapers printed every detail, and the people of France took sides. Some believed the queen was innocent, the victim of a cruel plot. Others believed she was guilty, a symbol of everything that was wrong with the monarchy. Jeanne was a master storyteller. She claimed that the queen had orchestrated the entire affair, using her as a pawn. The cardinal insisted that he had only wanted to serve the queen. The court was divided, and the king struggled to maintain order. In the end, the cardinal was acquitted, his reputation damaged, but his freedom intact. Jeanne was found guilty. She was branded with a hot iron, whipped, and sent to prison. Her husband fled the country, and Rateau de Valette was exiled. Nicole de Leva was acquitted, her role seen as minor. Marie Antoinette was never formally charged, but her reputation was destroyed. The people of France saw her as greedy and heartless, a queen who cared more for diamonds than for her subjects. The affair became a symbol of the monarchy's corruption, and the seeds of revolution were sown. In the years that followed, the queen's life grew more difficult. The revolution swept through France, and Marie Antoinette was imprisoned, tried, and executed. The diamond necklace, once a symbol of beauty and power, was lost to history, its stones scattered across Europe. But the story of the necklace lived on. It was told and retold, a cautionary tale of ambition, deception, and the high price of dreams. Jeanne de la Motte died in poverty, her name forever linked to the greatest scandal of her age. The cardinal lived out his days in exile, haunted by what might have been. And Marie Antoinette, the queen who never wanted the necklace, became a symbol of a world that was lost. So, the next time you see a diamond glitter in the light, remember the story of the necklace that changed a kingdom, a tale of ambition, deception, and the high price of dreams. If you enjoyed this journey into the heart of royal intrigue, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. There are more stories waiting to be told right here.